how it is really important for all of you to understand thinkers' perspective, in which time period they are writing, and how they have analyzed society. Hello students, my name Dr. Huma Hassan, and today I have brought the most important topic of sociology in UPSC syllabus, that is sociological thinkers. Before I start sociological thinkers, I like to bring a significant point with respect to thinkers, that how it is really important for all of you to understand thinkers' perspective, in which time period they are writing, and how they have analyzed society. It helps you to understand your contemporary society. For instance, we all know the great contribution of Karl Marx. The theory which he has given to us is known as Marxism. And we even know that the theory of Marxism has actually divided the world on some economical lines. So it means that the theory which he had brought to us in 18th century has a lot of relevance in today's time as well. At the same time, it is equally really important to understand that some of the predictions which Karl Marx has said with respect to modern capitalist mode of production could not turn up the way he had articulated. It is really important to know why and how he has said, in which perspective he has said. So commonly people often say that Karl Marx got failed because we do see capitalism all over the place and all. I think that it is wrong to say that he is failed. Any thinker, when he is giving any perspective to analyze society, they don't fail. They make theories, they make articulations. And you can say that the turnings of Marx, for example, what he has predicted, may be not true because he could not actually understand the power of adaptation. You can say that, right? Apart from that, the theory which you need to understand about Marxism, that Marxism is bringing our understanding about inequality, discrimination. This inequality and discrimination which he has related, it's on which factor? It is basically on economic factor. So the idea which he had given to us by using various theories, we need to understand in the context of today's scenario. Okay, we do have to know that, okay, the theory which is given to us, for instance, Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Talcott Parsons, how relevant they can be. So if you can understand this particular point, that you do not have to just cram, you do not just have to learn about this thinkers' concepts and the theories which is there in your syllabus, and you need to apply their theory and their understanding to articulate your answers, because I don't think so that you are going to get a direct questions that what is alienation, what is social facts, what is anomie. You do have to write about their perspectives, but it is really important to bring your own analysis to that, because the fundamental understanding of sociology as a discipline is to bring critical approach in your understanding, in your reflection, in your thought process. So how do we can bring justice to the most important topic of sociology, that is social thinkers? I believe one of the most important tips which I always give to my aspirants, that start comparing and contrasting one ideas of one thinker to another to other. For example, if you are talking about Marxism, you should know what Durkheim is talking about, how Karl Marx and Durkheim is having a similar understanding on some phenomenon, and how they are actually having contrary visions on that topic. For example, Karl Marx and Emile Durkheim, they are talking on the same line when they are referring to the concept of anomie and alienation. Alienation is given to us by Karl Marx, and anomy, economic anomy, is given to us by Emile Durkheim. And how they both have given the two different perspectives about capitalism, and how this capitalism and the kind of you can say the theoretical body they have made, how other thinkers have articulated on the same. For example, Weber. And then you need to bring about other thinkers too. Okay, so precisely today in today's lecture I like to bring this important point, that you do have to understand the perspectives of thinkers, on which line they were formulating and thinking about that type of society, and also predicted about contemporary society, the today's society. It is really very important to know that if you really want to fetch good marks, I think in your art or in your writing, you need to have conceptual clarity, and conceptual clarity of thinkers is utmost important to all of us. Fine, so let's just begin our video with this notion, that how do we have to correlate about these thinkers. So here you can see that I have brought many thinkers here, right? So we do have Comte, we do have Spencer, Saint-Simon. So we know that Auguste Comte is considered as the father of sociology, but I do not personally go along with these lines, because I believe that everyone has given the contribution. Yes, some thinkers' contributions are something like you can say that it's great or it's massive as compared to other thinkers. But yes, if we take the point that he has coined the term, okay, and he has told that what do we have to understand in the society. So Auguste Comte, how he has got influence, what his writing was. It is really important to know, because if you are reading and understanding about Durkheim, okay, Emile Durkheim, who has given a functionalist approach in sociology, it is equally important to know the contribution of Auguste Comte. So the point here which you people have to know, that in order to understand Emile Durkheim, you need to know the contribution of positivism which is given to us by Auguste Comte, and how Auguste Comte writing in itself influenced, and you can say in line with Saint-Simon and Herbert Spencer. So what is the role of Herbert Spencer, right? So I just like to bring this some point here, that you may have some thinkers mentioned in your syllabus, that is Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, Robert Merton, George Herbert Mead and Talcott Parsons. But not only these 6 or 7 thinkers are going to make your sociological understanding. Okay, you do have to know, for instance, the role of Herbert Spencer. You should know about Saint-Simon, because they have a major influences on the writing of, you can say, Auguste Comte, right? And then Auguste Comte is really important for us even to understand one of the thinker which is mentioned in your UP syllabus, that is Emile Durkheim. And then you can understand other thinkers' perspective when you know about these thinkers too. So the point here which I am bringing is that you cannot learn any thinker in reading them in isolation. You do have to correlate, all the thinkers when you are reading about this particular topic. Alright, so you should be knowing about Durkheim, you should be knowing about Karl Marx. So when you are reading about Karl Marx, you should be knowing the role of Hegel and Engels in his life. When we are talking about Emile Durkheim, you should be knowing about Ferdinand Tönnies, right? When you are reading about Habermas, Marcuse, you should know what is the influence of Frankfurt School, right? So many of the thinkers which is there You can see on your screen, it is not mentioned on the topic 4, sociological thinkers, but the influence of Immanuel Kant, for instance, is so important for all of you to understand any other thinkers. It is really important to know the role of Hegel. It is really important for us to know about various philosophies. So this is one important point, guys, which you have to learn and accept, that when you are reading about sociology, you need to make correlation from topic 1 to topic 2, topic 3, topic 4. You need to understand in that manner. And I always emphasize on this point that you really have to make your base and work hard till thinkers. I teach really slow. I try to bring the base of my students, and I really want to give them conceptual clarity from the beginning of my classes with respect to thinkers. And after completing thinkers, trust me, your base is going to be made so strong, because you people are going to have conceptual clarity about these philosophers' perspective, and then it will help you to understand the remaining topics, that is social stratification, work and economic life, your politics and society, religion and society, kinship, family, and the last topic, social changes. This is what I am talking about, the topic 1. And the topic 2, in which we are going to read about Indian society, it is all the application of paper 1. So I find it sometimes really funny when some aspirants comes to me and they approach to me and they say that, ma'am, we have only 4 months, we have only 5 months to prepare, next year we are targeting. I say to them, and this is my humble request to all of you whosoever listening to my lecture right now, that do not be in that illusion that you are going to complete everything in 4 months. Yes, probably your syllabus will be finished in 4 months. You will have proper understanding of your syllabus, but then your success rate, but then your ability to articulate your answers totally depends how well you have understand the concept, how well you know that which thinker is saying what, which topic is demanding which aspects of your, you can say, the preparation or what you have learned. So it totally depends on your understanding, and that only comes when you give lot of answer writing and practices. So that is why do not just rely on 12 test series or some test series which you are going to write later on. At least you should be so confident in you that once you have completed your syllabus and once you have made your notes, your understanding is so clear that you can all work on your answer writing. And be among those, I would say, those students, among those group of students who write their mains and they clear their exam. There is no point of having some information about sociology and then again thinking that you may write your mains and then again you would prepare, right? So even if you are having little, I would say you are taking little more time. Some of the aspirants, they do not easily catch up, right, what these thinkers are saying. So they take time, but once they understand that their perspectives, what is actually Marxism, what is actually functionalism, what is interactionism, because these 3 major perspectives creates your I would say base to understand these thinkers. It should be on your tip. The moment I am talking about the alienation, you should know what is alienation. The moment I am saying that why the prediction of Karl Marx is not turned to be the way he has said, you should know the reason in one line, right? You should know that how Talcott Parson is actually brought, with his theory about the social structure and the social system and action. He has brought both Durkheim and Max Weber understanding, and how even he is also making the same point which Karl Marx has brought. In the end, trust me on this, if you have good clarity, you will come to know that how these all thinkers are talking about the main point to understand society. The main focal point, as per my analysis of these thinkers, that they all want to know how we can maintain social stability in society and what we can do to create stable social order. And once the social order is established, why it is changing. So the main point of sociology is to know that how we can resolve the problems of society. And all these thinkers, by analyzing society, whether from macro perspective or from micro perspective, is trying to articulate on that. So in these lectures or in this series of lectures, I am going to talk about all the thinkers, like, and specifically which are mentioned in your syllabus, okay, and how they are comparing and how you can, like, contrast their ideas with other thinkers. Okay, so this is the most important part I wanted to bring, that when you are reading about social thinkers, trust me, it is just not about the concept which is mentioned in your syllabus. Often aspirants do this mistake. They get influenced by various, you can say, factors. So they believe that, when they are reading about society or sociology, they are taking this optional, they really have to, quickly finish the syllabus and they have to be in answer writing. But there is no point if you do not have the conceptual clarity, if you do not know what these thinkers are saying. How you can have understanding of these thinkers? You can have crystal clear understanding of these thinkers if you know them as you know your friends. As you know your friends' thinking, thought process, if you know this thinker's thought process, you will come to know their concepts as well. And if you know their concepts as well, or you know the clarity of their philosophies, you will be able to articulate really well on difficult questions. Okay, so let's start today. So I would say all the thinkers, whatsoever you are saying, you need to correlate with them. Alright, so every thinker has lot of influences of each other, right? But I would say that for your sociology, okay, in your sociology paper, you do have some of the thinkers. First of all, we do have a Karl Marx, right? So Karl Marx, what type of perspective he has given to analyze society? He has given conflict perspective. For him, there is always a clash of interest between the two classes. And this is the crux of Karl Marx theory. This is known as Marxism. The main point of Karl Marx analysis of society definitely coming from the clash of interest in economical aspects. According to Karl Marx, that we all are social animals, right? He used the term as species being. Okay, so what is this term? Species being. He says that humans are species being. Species beings mean that humans have critical thinking. Humans are not just like any other animals. We have evolved. Since we have evolved, we need to take fullest responsibility of our actions. If we are taking fullest responsibility of our action, we are making justice to human potential. Karl Marx is saying that we are species being, human is species being. That is why they cannot randomly get into any activities. it is really important to know that Karl Marx has given articulation on activities. It's not only economical activities, he had also shown that how human activities are different from activities which is being done by other species. When he is referring to this particular point, he is just simply saying that we humans comes together because we need to survive. And we humans can survive when we can feed ourselves. And this is the basic line of Karl Marx, which we can say make him an evolutionist. Because he is analyzing society, and for this he had given a concept called historical materialism. Historical materialism is a theory in which Karl Marx is saying that how humans have evolved economically. He had given the different stages of society. This is what we can discuss in detail. This is historical materialism. But in order to understand historical materialism, you need to understand dialectic first. Dialectic is the philosophy which is given to us by George Hegel. As I already said, that we need to understand the influences on thinkers. So George Hegel has given the fundamental point of, you can say, influence or impact on Karl Marx by his concept called dialectics. So he borrowed from Hegel the concept of dialectic, but not completely. Okay, so it is important for us to know that which aspect he borrowed from Hegel. Often you will find everywhere and it is written that Karl Marx was influenced by Hegel, but you need to know which aspects, how, why, how much, in how much degree. It is really equally important how Karl Marx has criticized Hegel as well. Okay, and then how Karl Marx in his process of learning and theorizing the theories, how he got influenced by materialistic philosophy. What is materialism? Dialectic is one philosophy, materialism is another philosophy, which is given to us, you can say, largely by Ludwig Feuerbach. So this Ludwig Feuerbach, he is known as young Hegelian. He himself was influenced by George Hegel, but Feuerbach too criticized Hegel, and he gave his own concept. So now Karl Marx has two influences, Hegel and Feuerbach. So he accepted Feuerbach's analysis that how we need to understand society from this perspective, from philosophy perspective. But then he rejected, in fact, Feuerbach too. And he got his own analysis, that is historical materialism. And the important part, he got influenced by political economics. How he got influenced by thinkers like Adam Smith or David Ricardo. And then how he again rejected some of the ideas of this political economics. And then how he has articulated his theory of socialism and then communism. What type of revolution he was talking about? As in the beginning of my lectures, I said that people often say that कार्ल मार्क्स ने ये बात कही और कार्ल मार्क्स नहीं समझ पाए, वो फेल हो गए. इस लाइन से तो मुझको बहुत ऑब्जेक्शन रहती है. कार्ल मार्क्स नहीं फेल हुए, राइट? उन्होंने जो थिंकिंग बताई वो आप कह सकते हैं, जो उन्होंने कहा कि बिल्कुल रेवोल्यूशन आएगा और अल्टीमेटली इट विल बी वर्कर क्लास, इट विल बी सोशलिज्म, कम्युनिज्म. We do have to understand that in what perspective he was saying. उन्होंने ये किस एनालिसिस पे कहा. जरूरी ये बात है बिल्कुल सही बात है, हम समझ सकते हैं, कह सकते हैं कि कार्ल मार्क्स एक इंपॉर्टेंट बात मिस कर गए जो कि टैलकट पार्सन ने समझा. टैलकट पार्सन इज योर अनदर थिंकर. सो सी, एंड ही इज अ 20th you can say 20th time century philosopher, because Karl Marx was writing in 18th century and Talcott Parsons was writing in the early 20th century, right? So Talcott Parsons ने एक बहुत प्यारी थ्योरी दी, that is the theory of social system, AGIL model, right? And this is mentioned in your syllabus also, pattern variable and all. So Talcott Parsons, I was talking about Karl Marx. I am bringing that the point, please keep in this mind, right? So the Talcott Parsons is actually telling that why actually Karl Marx could not understand, and he often accused or claimed that he got failed. Karl Marx could not understand that capitalism could adapt, right? So capitalist mode of production of 18th-19th century, they had some problems, they had some ills, they had some deviant factors. And what had happened, that the 18th-19th century capitalist mode of production started adapting themselves. They started working on their problems. And this is a theory of equilibrium by Talcott Parsons. So Talcott Parsons have said that every system, it can be macro system, it can be micro system. Every system has tendency to adapt themselves. They have a model called AGIL. So in this way, we have got the answer from Talcott Parsons. So Talcott Parsons is I have said that he is an American sociologist. He has given the answers in the 20th century, but we do have, you can say, we do have Max Weber, we do have Emile Durkheim before Talcott Parsons, who is actually saying that why capitalist mode of production could persist. So the point, if I want to bring right now, before even Talcott Parsons, Emile Durkheim has given us a theory on functionalism. Emile Durkheim has given this concept of social system, and Emile Durkheim says that it is true, indeed true, that we individuals, humans, are selfish creatures. We do have our own selfish interest. In fact, Emile Durkheim has also said that if we have high level of differentiation, if we have high level of individualization, that is problematic. But the point which here I want to bring, Emile Durkheim too has said in his theory that we do have to understand that what is the one thing in which any system can maintain its functions. So he recognized the fact that we do have our self-interest, we are selfish, but it is society which actually, through the process of socialization, by the help of different social institutions, creates our self. It creates our system to think. And in this process, when we interact with society, individuals learn to sacrifice their own specific need for that something else. Emile Durkheim has used this term, that something else. So what is that something else? That something else is society. For instance, I want to become, let's just say, singer or an actor. मैं कुछ ऐसा बनना चाहती हूँ. But मेरे socialization के हिसाब से, मेरे culture के हिसाब से, मेरी society के हिसाब से, singing and dancing is not apt. तो मैं अपनी नीड्स को सेक्रीफाइस कर लूंगी फॉर दैट समथिंग एल्स. एंड व्हाट इज दैट समथिंग एल्स? दैट इज द एक्सपेक्टेशन, दैट इज द नॉर्म्स. सो इमाइल डर्कहाइम ने यही बात बोली है कि ये जो सिस्टम है कैपिटलिस्ट मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन का, जो कार्ल मार्क्स ने यू कैन से बहुत क्रिटिसाइज किया है, बताया है कि किस तरीके से इनइक्वालिटी आती है, और उनका हिसाब से ये बात थी कि जब आप इतना ज्यादा एक्सप्लॉयटेशन करेंगे तो अल्टीमेटली क्लास इन इटसेल्फ विल बिकम क्लास फॉर इटसेल्फ, राइट. तो अल्टीमेटली ये एक कॉन्सेप्ट है जो कि कार्ल मार्क्स ने बताया है कि अल्टीमेटली एलिनेशन होगा और जो वर्कर्स हैं वो रिवोल्ट करेंगे. लेकिन हमको फिर पता चल रहा है इमाइल डर्कहाइम की राइटिंग से कि किस तरीके से सिस्टम जो है वर्कआउट करता है टू ब्रिंग सॉलिडारिटी, टू ब्रिंग इंटीग्रेशन इन सोसाइटी. तो इमाइल डर्कहाइम बता रहे हैं कि जितना डिफरेंशिएशन होगा आज के टाइम पे, इन टुडेज टाइम वी आर हैविंग लॉट ऑफ you can say differentiation, we become dependent on each other. तो अब हम जब एक दूसरे के साथ डिपेंडेंट हो चुके हैं तो हम आपस में सॉलिडारिटी लाएंगे. इसीलिए कैपिटलिस्ट मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में भी चेंजेस आए. तो अब वैसा एक्सप्लॉयटेशन हो ही नहीं सकता है जैसा कि कार्ल मार्क्स के टाइम पे हो रहा था. वी डू हैव मिडिल क्लासेस, वी डू हैव लॉट ऑफ राइट्स टू बी गिवन टू द वर्कर्स टू. और यही थ्योरी मैक्स वेबर की है. मैक्स वेबर ने बताया हमको कि किस तरीके से वी डू नॉट हैव ओनली टू क्लासेस, वी डू हैव द मिडिल क्लासेस टू. सो आज के लिए इतना ही. आज मैंने सिर्फ आप लोगों को ये समझाने की कोशिश की है कि कैसे आप थिंकर्स को जब पढ़ते हैं तो आपको कोरिलेशन करने की जरूरत है. लेकिन ये कोरिलेशन इतनी जल्दी नहीं आता है. ये कोरिलेशन सबसे पहले जब कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी हो जाती है और आप सिस्टमैटिकली और बहुत मेहनत करके नोट मेकिंग करते हैं तब आता है. शॉर्टकट्स के लिए प्लीज मत जाइए. मेरे बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स आते हैं और वो सोचते हैं कि नोट मेकिंग नहीं करनी पड़ेगी, हार्ड वर्क नहीं करना है, इससे तो ये एग्जाम नहीं क्रैक होगा. मैं पर्सनली हर एक बच्चे के नोट्स चेक करती हूँ. मुझको अपने बच्चे बाय नेम याद रहते हैं. मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेती हूँ अपने सारे बच्चों की. सो नोट मेकिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है. नो शॉर्टकट्स. आज तो हम सिर्फ इतना ही बात करेंगे, लेकिन आने वाले लेक्चर्स में हम कार्ल मार्क्स के ऊपर सबसे पहले डिस्कशन करेंगे. कार्ल मार्क्स की जो मेजर थ्योरीज है उनको हम अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे कि क्या बात कह रहे हैं. व्हाट इज क्लास स्ट्रगल, व्हाट इज मटेरियलिज्म, व्हाट इज एलिनेशन, व्हाट इज मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, व्हाट इज रिलेशन ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, क्या उनकी फिलॉसफी है, किस किस लोगों से वो इन्फ्लुएंस हैं. तो कार्ल मार्क्स को समझेंगे पहले. कार्ल मार्क्स को समझने के बाद हम इमाइल डर्कहाइम को समझेंगे, राइट. इमाइल डर्कहाइम की थिंकिंग समझने के बाद विल मूव टू मैक्स वेबर, देन विल मूव टू कैलकट पार्सन, ओके, देन विल मूव टू जॉर्ज हर्बर्ट मीड. तो जब इन सारे थिंकर्स को हम समझ जाएंगे तो जिस तरीके से मैं कोरिलेशन कर पा रही हूं, मैं प्रॉमिस करती हूं अगर आप लोग ये लेक्चर्स कंसिस्टेंटली देखोगे और थोड़ी बहुत रीडिंग करोगे, आप लोग भी कोरिलेशन कर पाओगे. और ट्रस्ट मी ऑन दिस, मैं बहुत बच्चों के टेस्ट पेपर्स चेक करती हूँ एंड आई रियली वांट टू टेल यू दैट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट हियर इज दैट हाउ यू कैन मेक द क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस. एलिनेशन पूछा है आपसे, लेकिन आप बॉडी 3 में अपनी क्रिएटिविटी दिखा सकते हो कि कैसे एलिनेशन का जो पॉइंट है वो डर्कहाइम भी कह रहे हैं, वो रॉबर्ट मर्टन भी कह रहे हैं और कोई और थिंकर्स भी कह रहे हैं, और आप कंटेम्प्रेरी सोसाइटी से उसका एग्जाम्पल दो. तो ये बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर्स हैं. तो एक पॉइंट में मैं अपना लेक्चर फिनिश करूंगी. आई डू नॉट नो हाउ टू से, बट दैट रोम वाज नॉट मेड इन वन डे. एक दिन में तो रोम नहीं बन गया, ठीक है. तो जितने भी बच्चे बहुत जल्दी करते हैं कि मैम अभी मेरे पास सिर्फ 4 महीने हैं, मुझे पास 5 महीने हैं, इतना टाइम नहीं रुक सकते हैं, नहीं, ऐसा मत करो. अपने साथ ऐसा मत करो. बहुत ही प्यार से इस सब्जेक्ट को डील करो. कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी रखो, आंसर राइटिंग समझो और एक ही बारी मेंस लिखो और अच्छे मार्क्स लेके आओ. थैंक यू सो वेरी मच.